Welcome to Spectrum News at 4, coming to you live from Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital. My name is Ofonono Joseph. Let's take a look at the top stories. President Tinubu to inaugurate cancer centers in Katsina, Benin, Nsukka. Akwa Ibom State Commissioner of Police Azare presents insurance checks to families of fallen officers. Plus, protest in Ukraine as Zelensky signs bill targeting anti-corruption bodies. Stay tuned for details of these and more in just a moment. Good afternoon. We're glad to have you join us on the news at this hour. We begin this afternoon from the national scene where President Bola Tinubu will tomorrow inaugurate 3 newly completed cancer centers in Katsina, Benin and Nsukka, as they are part of the 6 cancer centers under construction. Recall that in March 2024, the President approved the involvement of the National Sovereign Investment Authority's NSIA in upgrading 6 oncology centers for the treatment of cancer in 6 federal university teaching hospitals across the nation's geopolitical zones. The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, gave a deadline of between 18 and 20 months to complete the centers of excellence. Tomorrow, the centers, Federal Teaching Hospital Katsina, University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital Nsukka, and the University of Benin Teaching Hospital are set for inauguration in fulfillment of the President's promise to Nigerians that he would tackle the scourge of cancer. Ahmadu Bello University Teaching Hospital Zaria, University of Jos Teaching Hospital, and Lagos University Teaching Hospital Idi Araba are expected to be inaugurated in the second phase. Professor Pate, who described the initiative as the single largest investment in cancer care in Nigeria's history, noted that the facilities represent the first phase of a broader plan to establish 10 new cancer centers across the country. We move away from that, the Federal Ministry of Management Initiative, HDMI. According to the ministry, the review was designed to strengthen the concession policy for concessionaries and attract private sector funding and investments. Details of the review, which included an addendum, were made public by the Minister of Works, David Umahi, after a 2-day meeting with stakeholders, including concessionaries, which ended in Abuja yesterday. In a statement signed by the Minister's Special Advisor, Media, Oji Uchenna Oji, Umahi identified on 23 May 2023 that required review. From the Red Chambers, the Senate has approved President Bola Tinubu's external borrowing plan of over $21 billion for the 2025-2026 fiscal cycle. On local and foreign debt, Aliyu Wamako, who noted that the plan was first submitted to the National Assembly on May 27, but was delayed due to legislative recess and documentation issues from the Debt Management Office. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriations, Olamilekon Adeola, stated that most of the loan requests had already been factored into the medium-term expenditure framework and the 2025 budget. He further explained that the borrowing is already embedded in the 2025 Appropriation Act, noting that with the approval, all revenue sources, including loans, are in place to fully fund the budget. Meanwhile, Senate spokesman Yemi Adaramodu says Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan remains suspended till the Red Chamber resumes from recess in 2 months. Adaramodu said this hour after the Senate barred the suspended lawmaker from resuming legislative duties at the National Assembly in Abuja. Meanwhile, the suspended senator has vowed to drag the leadership of the Senate before the appellate court after she was barred from accessing the National Assembly complex. Akpoti-Uduaghan told journalists that she would consult her legal team immediately to kickstart the process, stressing that it was a violation of the recent judgment calling for her reinstatement. She also condemned the Senate's actions, calling it an act of contempt of court by the Senate under its president, Godswill Akpabio. In the meantime, 4 senators elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to represent their various senatorial districts in the present 10th Senate have formally dumped their party for the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC). President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, read their separate letters in the chamber where they cited irreconcilable differences in the opposition PDP as reason for their cross-carpeting. Akpabio, who read the letters, authorized that they should be documented by the clerk of the Senate. The senators who decamped formally today are Senators Francis Fadahunsi, Osun East, and Oluwole Olubiyi, Osun Central. Others are Senators Ania Kambasi, Akwa Ibom North East, and Samson Ekong, Akwa Ibom South. From the Green Chambers, the House Committee on Petroleum Downstream Sector has dismissed petitions demanding the sack of the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, Farouk Ahmed. Chairman of the committee, Ikenga Ugochinyere, said this at a news conference in Abuja today. Ugochinyere said the committee, after considering laudable results of the NMDPRA under Ahmed's leadership, dismissed petitions calling for his sack. Talking education now, NECO Registrar Professor Ibrahim Wushishi has said that about 1,367,210 candidates are sitting for the 2025 Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination across the country, using a dual mode of computer-based testing CBT and paper, pencil testing PPT. He said out of the 1,367,210 candidates, 685,551 are male, while over 681,300 are female. Washishi reeled out the figures while monitoring the conduct of the examination at a pilot CBC center in Maitama, Abuja. Reports say Kano State is listed among the highest number of registered candidates with more than 137,000 enrollment, while Kebbi had the list just above 5,000. The examination marks the first time NECO is exploring the use of CBT to conduct the O-level examination in selected centers in Nigeria. The Akwa Ibom State Commissioner of Police, Baba Mohammed Azare, yesterday, on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, presented checks of 37,280,296 naira, 36 kobo, to 34 families of police officers who lost their lives while serving their country, Nigeria. The event, which took place at the Akwa Ibom State Police Headquarters, Ikorokpanabia, also had in attendance other senior police officers, family members of the deceased officers, and journalists. Speaking during the event, Azare said the checks were in appreciation of their support to the police force while alive. He also promised to maintain their legacy and continue to show support to the family they left behind. He prayed for their souls to rest in peace.
These men and women answered the call to serve and protect, their lives on the line so that others may live in peace and security. Their courage, dedication, and sacrifice will never be forgotten. Though we cannot bring them back, it is our moral institutional responsibility to stand by the families they have left behind. Today, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, we present these checks of 37,280,296 naira 36 kobo to 34 beneficiaries of the insurance scheme. These checks, as a token of our appreciation, support, and continued commitment to their legacy. We understand that no amount of money can replace the loss of a loved one, but we hope it serves as a symbol of our shared grief, our gratitude, and our promise that their sacrifice was not in vain. To the families gathered here, we say you are not alone. The Nigeria Police Force, the Akwa Ibom State Police Command, and indeed the nation stand with you. We'll continue to honor and support you in every way possible. Let us remember that the bloodshed by these heroes should inspire us to build a safer, more just society, one worthy of their sacrifice. May the soul of our departed officers rest in perfect peace, and may Almighty God continue to strengthen and comfort their families. Thank you, and God bless the Nigeria Police Force. God bless Akwa Ibom State Police Command. God bless the Federal Republic. And
Ikorok Panabia for identification and collection of their stolen items. This was also made known by the State Commissioner of Police, Baba Azare, when he conducted journalists an inspection of the stolen items, stating that the inspected items, which included generators, other household items, were recoveries of stolen. He said the success of the recovery was based on intelligence, encouraging members of the public to always share useful information with the Nigerian.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the press. What you are seeing here today is collections of recoveries of stolen items, suspected stolen items from different places in Akwa Ibom State. Based on intelligence available to the command, we were able to ransack those areas and are able to come up with these recoveries as you are seeing. We urge members of the public whose items like these are missing to please come up with their proof of ownership and claim their items. The suspects that are arrested will soon be prosecuted for the offense they committed. I want to employ members of the public to continue and give the police more information, useful information that will be able to get them apprehended and prosecute them in court of law.
The briefing was rounded off with the reception of the National Association of Retired Police Officers of Nigeria, NAPON, by the Commissioner on a courtesy visit for a better welfare. The Commissioner of Police.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and your members, for having the foresight, for having very, very good relationship with the serving police officers in Akwa Ibom State, for also towing the path and line of honor in your dealings. While others are taken to streets to protest, you choose to come and table some of these issues with us, to dialogue and see how we can key in to also improve and find lasting solution to this lingering problem of contributory pension scheme. I want to assure you that already the Inspector General of Police has taken up this issue with the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the federal government, in order to find a lasting solution to your problems. And by God's grace, the IG is capable, and we are looking up to him to come up with something that will be beneficial to all of you, and also us that will soon join you in retirement sooner or later.
We move now to Africa, where Russia and Mozambique have reaffirmed their defense relations during a visit from the African country's foreign minister, Maria Lucas, to Moscow. Lucas expressed concern over the ongoing war in Ukraine, but praised the resilience of the Russian people. She said Mozambique had been following the situation closely and that her country would like for the matter to be resolved in a peaceful way. The foreign minister also stressed that war's impact on food security in Africa, adding that her visit to Moscow allowed her Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, to proclaim his country's commitment to provide defense assistance to Mozambique. On the foreign scene, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has signed a bill that critics say weakens the independence of Ukraine's anti-corruption bodies, sparking protests in several cities and drawing international criticism. According to reports, the new law grants the Prosecutor General control of the National Anti-Corruption Bureau, NABU, and Specialized Anti-Corruption Prosecutors Office, SAP, as critics say it undermines their authority. In an address, Zelensky said both agencies would still function but needed to be cleared of Russian influence. Reports also say after the bill was passed, hundreds of people gathered in Kiev for the biggest anti-government protest since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion in February 2022. Still on the foreign scene, Donald Trump says the U.S. has reached trade deals with Japan and the Philippines in what will be a major development in his tariffs war. The announcement comes ahead of an August 1 deadline, which Trump has threatened to increase tariffs. The U.S. president noted that Japan, one of the country's largest trading partners, agreed to a massive trade deal that would lead to $550 billion in the U.S. He also announced separately that U.S. will levy a 19% tax on imports from the Philippines and that Manila will remove duties on U.S. goods. Still to come in the news. Nigeria goalkeeper Okoye banned over betting scandal. Stay tuned for details of this in a jiffy. Many thanks for sticking with us. Now to the rest of our news stories. On our business news, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has reduced its premium motor spirit price for the second time in 1 week. The state-owned oil firm has adjusted its petrol price to 890 naira per litre from 895 naira. This represents a 5 naira per litre downward price review when compared to its earlier 895 naira pump price. Meanwhile, NNPCL retail outlets along Kubwa Expressway, Gwarimpa, Wuse Zone 4, and others in Abuja have adjusted their pumps to the new price. Still in business, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria has retained the monetary policy rate at 27.5% for the third consecutive time in 2025, opting to keep all key policy parameters unchanged. The governor of the CBN, Olayemi Kodoso, disclosed this at a press briefing in Abuja following the conclusion of the committee's 31st meeting held between July 21 and 22. This came as the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry warned that retaining the monetary policy rate at 27.5% translates to a major burden on businesses amid the high rate of inflation nationwide. Cardoso said the decision was taken to sustain the ongoing momentum of disinflation and to contain emerging inflationary pressures, noting that the policy stance would continue until risks to inflation had declined sufficiently.
Given the persistent uncertainty in the policy environment and underlying price pressures, monetary policy will need to maintain its current stance until risks to inflation recede sufficiently. The committee remains committed to the bank's price stability mandate and would take appropriate measures to foster stability and confidence in the economy. In addition, recent data on the Purchasing Managers Index indicates that the Nigerian economy remains on an expansionary path. The external sector also remains stable and resilient, despite persisting uncertainties in the global macroeconomic environment.
Talking health now, the federal government has partnered with the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, to tackle the malnutrition emergency in Sokoto State. A high-level delegation from UNICEF, the European Union, Medicines Frontiers, and the federal government arrived in Sokoto to advocate for urgent intervention and increased funding. Led by the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Professor Netanyahu Yowada, the mission was to galvanize support for tackling the alarming rise in severe acute malnutrition in the state. Speaking during the visit, Professor Yowada lauded the collaboration between the state and humanitarian partners and stressed the need for durable solutions rooted in local capacity. To sports news now, where Udinese and Nigeria goalkeeper Maduka Okoye has been handed a 2-month ban by the Italian Football Federation following a high-profile betting scandal linked to a match against Lazio during the 2023-2024 season. The 24-year-old goalkeeper was found guilty of sporting misconduct after allegations emerged a yellow card during the league match against Lazio. The suspicious booking triggered an investigation into abnormal betting patterns related to that specific incident. According to a statement from the FIGC, Okoye was accused of intentionally committing an act that led to his caution in order to influence betting outcomes. Still in sports, popular American wrestler Brock Edward Lesnar has been banned from wrestling. Daniel Cormier, a former Ultimate Fighting Championship UFC, made this known during his interview with Newsman. Cormier, who refused to give details of Lesnar's offense, simply noted he was in so much trouble. Meanwhile, the ban is speculated to have stemmed from Brock Lesnar's alleged involvement in the sexual assault and trafficking suit against Vince McMahon, a former WWE top executive. On our entertainment news, Nigerian music sensation Adekunle Gold, also known as AG Baby, has expressed displeasure after a well-known bank allegedly used his viral first-class giveaway initiative in their advertising campaign without permission. Recall that Adekunle Gold had launched a giveaway to reward individuals with first-class degrees, giving them cash prizes in recognition of their academic excellence. The bank seemingly capitalized on the trend, incorporating it into their promotional message without the singer's consent. In response to this, the singer questioned the bank's approach, asking when they started using his initiative and warning that his lawyers would be in touch. And that's all we have for you at this time. To ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 4. I am Ofonono Joseph. Happy Wednesday.